Welcome everybody to AlexandAv.com. We're gonna be Is It Worth It today for FIFA 2016 that just came out recently. We also have PES that came out as well, but we're gonna focus on FIFA because I think that this is a title that's been around a little bit in mainstream.
FIFA's like
more.
it's like the big one, right? Like
Yeah, it's
PES
the
is
big
like
daddy.
even when like PES was at its height of power and everyone was like PES is better than FIFA, still like think FIFA's so better. So FIFA feels like the game that if you're gonna get a soccer game, you're probably like, man, should I get FIFA?
Yeah,
PS looks pretty good. That's like how like your mindset usually is when you're going into that. So I've
it,
played both of them and I played a lot of them, and I can tell you that it's going to be a tough call for you.
oh,
It's
dude, it has to be. I mean, you look at EA Sports, and like on the back of their box, they have like 1,000 new features for FIFA. But are they actually like improved? Like, can we see a benefit from these? I mean, when they're listening, no touch dribbling, better tackles, interceptions, like FIFA trainer, like, is this stuff that is an improvement and worth like the money, or is it just
it's
a
it's such a
gimmick?
small. There's such tiny changes that I popped in FIFA 16 for the first time, and I probably put like 100 hours into FIFA 15. Like I played that game religiously. It's like one of the few games that I play like from when it comes out until the new version comes out, FIFA 16. So I put FIFA 16 in, and I started to play it, and I was like, this is really weird. There's like no incremental graphic update. Like visually, it looks the same as it's looked for like the last 2 years. The player speed felt like a little bit slower, but even though you listed all those back to the box features, like I was still doing the exact same. I was playing the exact same way I'd played FIFA 15. Like I was still like going down the middle, kind of like hitting it out the wing, kind of going around the corner, getting the ball in the box, turning and shooting the goal like on this weird angle. It's almost like you're like, this is how you score a goal in FIFA sometimes.
It's
And
it's the go-to, dude. It's the bread and butter.
the computer was busting out some of this new stuff. Like maybe in the very beginning I wasn't getting it. Even now that I know how to do these new moves, I don't find myself using this new spacing, like being able to space out with the ball. The computer uses it all the time to like great effect, but
Oh, dude, the
for
last
fun.
time I played one, they would just bust out every trick in the book, dude. Shoot it under my leg, dude. Like spin moves, back spins, and I'm just like
Yeah.
running down, hitting speed bursts, like chucking it. Is it easier to hit moves now, or not really?
No, it's like still the same thing.
Felt like
Like
I
I
had to do
feel
the
like
Konami code.
the harder difficulty you do, you have to like do like a Hadouken, and then you got to throw it into a Dragon Punch, and then you just have to pray because you never know like if you're gonna be able to land one of those moves. Like and the harder you crank that difficulty up, the less easy it is to like knock down one of those moves. So I don't even find myself using a lot of the tricks and jukes and stuff like that most of the time because it just doesn't work. So yeah, I don't know. Gameplay wise, I couldn't tell the difference. I thought I was playing FIFA 15 for a long time. Visually, same thing. That carries over not just to the way the game looks and plays, but to the menu systems. Like every menu looks the same as it did last year. Like you go into the career mode, layout is the same box layout, like the stats are the same.
Really?
Everything's the same, and it's really trippy. There's a new training thing where you can train your players, and it's totally trivial. And
But
I
like
don't
when
know,
you think
like
of a new game, you want a new presentation that kind of takes
you
you
really do, right? Like
out of last year and into
when
the
I'm paying
new.
$60, dude, I want more than a roster update. And I
Yes, dude, that's what I
and
say
I
all the time.
like I felt like with Madden this year, you see in my review and in the talkback, I felt like there was like a lot of these changes like affected the game, and it like I felt like it even looked a little bit better. It moves a little bit better. The menus again were the total EA class, same shit, but it felt a little bit different with FIFA 16, man. Holy crap, dude. It feels like FIFA 15 all over again. Which is not to say that PS 16 doesn't feel like PS 15, because in a lot of ways it does.
Hmm.
Um, Visually, it's okay. It uses the Fox engine, which is weird because like it's not the best. I don't know. Metal Gear looks amazing. In this, the lighting is not that great. Like some of the stuff doesn't look amazing. The animation is still wonky, but it plays a good game of soccer. Like if I'm going to say which plays a more authentic game of soccer, and I watch a lot of soccer. Like I see a lot of soccer in
Dude, you
person.
got the soccer shirt on today, man.
I have season tickets to like my new official hometown team, and I watch it a lot, so I know how it plays, and I really feel like PS plays more authentic. But even then, when I crank up the difficulty on PS because it gets too easy,
Mhm.
the game doesn't get better. The game cheats. It's like clear as fucking day. Like their players are like even if you're playing a bad team, but you're in like a cup game where it's an important game, that bad team is all like equal to you. Their slow guys are just as fast as your guys. They're busting out tricks they shouldn't make. There's like weird like Mario Kart style rubber band AI in PES, whether anybody
Ooh.
wants to admit it or not, it's there. Like it's
Watch a
happened to me
replay.
for like the last 10 years. Like you can watch the ball like go to the player's feet, or they can win tackles and passes and make perfect passes, super powerful across the field where you can't ever. And like they can be falling backwards, hit a pass, and it's like clutch. It's just like stupid shit like that. That I think keeps PES down. FIFA does the same thing. So again, if you like PES soccer and you like the way that game plays, and you're gonna like PES. This is not gonna like everyone's saying PS 16 this year is like this great reinvention of the franchise. It's back. It's doing the same thing it's done forever. It's
Gotcha.
it's made some changes. The Master League's a little bit better, potentially. They're saying it's better. Everyone's saying it's better, but when you get in there and you start looking at things, you're like, this is the same stat set, just with a better menu system. This is the same crappy the youth team, the same weird scouting, all that shit's the same. But whereas this is where I want to make myself really clear on PES on how fucking pissed I am at this game.
Uh-oh.
Where I say that FIFA, I don't want to pay $60 for a roster update. At least when I plug in FIFA, that $60, I have up to date rosters. They download right away, and I'm playing with the official teams. Like the transfer window is over the summer in soccer, so by the time this game hits my shelves and the season starts, those teams are much different. Like even in the last 2 months, like in July and August, a lot of changes are made to teams like Manchester United, which I follow. When I pop in FIFA, all those changes are there. I pop in PES, I swear to God, those rosters are from like December, dude. Like they are
Uh,
so out of date
and they don't
that.
update on a frequent basis at all, do they?
So here's the thing. This game came out in the US on a Tuesday, it came out in Europe on a Friday. Supposedly on the Friday, there was supposed to be a live update and you're going to get your updated rosters,
Yeah.
which is it's shitty. Like in general, it's shitty that in America I have to wait 4 days to get updated rosters. Like if I want to play like a franchise mode,
Hmm.
do I want to play with the old guys? No, I want to start it with the real teams and the right thing. And I have to wait 4 days, which is crap. But it's okay. I'll fucking live, right? I can move a couple players myself to their shitty menu. Their transfer menus is shitty when you're editing a team. But then they didn't come out on Friday, and they're like, yeah, sorry, dude, we need to make sure the online works. Those are coming out in October.
Really, dude? Holy crap.
So you're stuck with shit rosters for October. So you're not even paying $60 for a roster update at this point.
Wow, dude, that's crazy. They can't just push the rosters and work on their other stuff?
Well,
Like,
I mean, the game's on the PC, right? Like one
yeah.
day after it hit, everyone's like, okay, here's the new rosters. But on
Oh,
the
because
console,
the people like modded
yeah,
it
like
in?
a normal person was like, okay, I'll spend the time and do this. I'll spend 5 hours and do this. Konami's like, we only have like
Wow.
two people working on this game, so that's the only explanation.
Well, the other thing is that Konami also said that they're going to focus on that as their main game.
Yes, they're like not even doing any other games. This is it.
That's
So
crazy.
I played a little online. It didn't seem entirely broken. It was okay, but I don't know. So if we're gonna come down to it, like, is it worth it? Is FIFA 16 worth it to buy over FIFA 15? For me personally, probably because I'm a sucker for like all the new uniforms, the new stadiums. I like some of the new stuff does make the gameplay a little bit better. You can't really notice it, but I think the more you play, the more you realize that these things are working under the hood and making it a more competitive game, at least against the computer and online.
So real quick, one thing before you give your official stamp, dude. We didn't get into it. And I know you're a huge fan of it, and I know a lot of people are. What about career mode? Like, did they do any improvements to career mode? Has there been anything like better? Like,
Are we talking GM mode or are we talking individual player?
you would
Because
know better than me.
neither of them have gotten any love for
No.
either of these series. Neither of these games are going down the path of the NBA 2K16, where Spike Lee's like directing
Yeah.
the My Career Player mode, and you're like going from a schlubby high school kid to the
World
pros and
Cup,
Hall
baby.
of Fame and doing all these crazy like cutscenes and stuff like that. Neither of these have it. You can play these as a player, but it's just really bare bones. Franchise mode, and I don't think franchise mode has ever been great in these games. FIFA's added a couple new things. They have preseason tournaments now, which kind of mirror real life, where
Okay.
like Manchester United comes to America and plays a bunch of MLS teams and just destroys us with their scrubs. And that's kind of cool. Instead of playing these like random games, you have like these little tournaments. You can you can be in charge of Manchester United. You can play in the MLS. You have all the different leagues or whatever and bounce around. You can also do the like a national team at the same time. So you can be the coach of Team USA and Manchester United, go to the World Cup, do all that jazz. Um, Players progress pretty okay. You have a youth team, you can do scouting, but if you've played the last two FIFAs, it's exactly the same. Outside of this new training feature where you can do the mini games to increase your players' stats, which again is nothing in compare. It's like much better in Madden with the way you get like experience points where it's like an RPG. This is just more, I don't know. It's like I feel like it's a bullshit thing they just added. So
Bummer.
yeah, I was hoping for a big upgrade in the manager mode, and it really hasn't been. And PES has like a full overhaul of their manager mode, and they got a couple new additions that are kind of cool. There's like end of month stat tracking where it like shows you all like an entire month's worth of your games and tells you how all your players did, things like that. Pretty cool, but transfers. I mean, the transferring in that game is like in Manchester United. Sometimes your players will ask to leave your team, which is really cool. Like your star player will be like, "Hey, I'm homesick. I'm from Spain. I don't want to be in England anymore. I want to go back to Spain," and you'll be like, "No, fuck you. Like
Yeah,
whatever."
yeah, yeah. Going.
But like eventually the board will come in and be like, "No, this guy's just really unhappy. He's gone," and they'll sell him, and you'll lose him.
Oh no shit.
Like there's cool shit like that in FIFA. Like that's like I enjoy that because you don't know when it's gonna happen. When players are gonna be homesick and then they're gonna be like, I don't want to play anymore, and then their stats start to go down because they're sad. PS doesn't have any of that shit. And in FIFA, if you want to buy like a really good player, teams won't let you buy him. Like you can't go buy Lionel Messi from Barcelona without spending like $200 million. And even then, he's gonna reject it and be like, no, I want to play in Spain. I don't want to come fucking play in England. In
That's actually pretty
PES,
cool.
in PES, I my team right now is I have Messi, Ronaldo, Rooney, Bale, everybody that's rated 90 or above. I've signed them and they're on my team. And I was able to negotiate all those teams down from what their initial offer was of like 60 million down to like 40 million just by clicking a couple buttons, and the players automatically signed. Total trash,
Super lame.
total
Yeah.
garbage franchise mode at PES.
That's what I don't like about the Madden series. You're allowed to do that shit too. Like just
Yeah,
pretty much like trade for a million fucking first round draft picks and any guys you want. Like I like that FIFA doesn't kind of they crack down a little bit on
yeah. And then FIFA the board will just undercut you, dude, which is great.
it.
Madden's gotten a little better at it, but PS is just complete garbage when it comes to that. PS does have the official Champions League and Europa League license in their franchise mode, which is kind of cool because the Champions League is neat. It's good to hear that music play and all that shit, but FIFA has the tournaments, they're just named differently.
So, dude, is it worth the upgrade from FIFA 15 to 16?
For me personally, I would say yes, it's worth the upgrade because I love the FIFA games and I love getting new shiny things, and them supporting the game and upgrading rosters through the season and the teams. And I think some of the things they changed are they're not big, but they're big enough to get me suckered into wanting to play the version of 16. If you don't have a lot of money and you're like, man, I think I can get by on playing FIFA 15, and if you haven't played it for an entire year, like I played it for an entire year, I'm like ready to play something new, even
Dude,
if it
yeah.
is just like tiny little changes. I want those tiny little changes. I want the new music. I want it to feel like something new for this next year because I put a lot of time in it. Then yeah, so FIFA 16 is, oh my God, it's hard to say it is worth it because it's not a lot of changes, but I would say FIFA 16 is worth it. And I would definitely say it's worth it over PS 16 because I think as much as Konami has done to make PS 16 play like a good game, it's still PS at its core.
Yeah.
And I feel like reviewers in general were really high on this game. I don't think they put enough time into it to like, I guess I am a reviewer,
Properly
so
judge
I'm
it.
like shitting on my peers, but I don't know if everybody essentially put in enough time to see all the quirks and the ways that that game is not as amazing as it first appears. It makes a really great first impression, but the longer you play it, I think the less fun that game becomes and the more fun FIFA becomes. So I would say FIFA 16 is definitely worth it over PS 16.
And it sounds like it's worth it more, even if you haven't played a FIFA in a while. Is
Yeah,
it?
and if you haven't played a FIFA in years, pick it up, dude. It's a great game. Like it's so much fun. It plays really great. Because you're gonna pick up PS 16, and you're gonna be like, why are all these like generic teams in here? Because if you're casual and you're thinking, I want to go to a soccer game, PS 16 is gonna be like you're picking up a Super Nintendo game because like 95% of the teams are like garbage teams. They're not even real teams. They don't have real logos or real affiliations. Some of the players are wrong. It's just going to be a confusing experience for everyone involved. You can upgrade it via USB stick, but I highly doubt anybody's going to do that. You're not crazy like me. On PS2, when I used to love PES over FIFA, you couldn't use a USB stick to import logos. You could just use shapes to draw the logos. So I would take one computer screen would have the actual uniform on it, and the TV would have the game, and I would meticulously craft each logo with like squares and triangles and spell out the logos, and they were like hard too, like they were like beer brands and shit, and I'm like making
Yeah.
Budweiser across someone's chest. That's not true. There's no Budweiser, but essentially it's like really intricate logos.
Yeah, dude.
So I'm an old school PES like apologist, and I don't think we can apologize for it anymore.
Ooh, man. All right, well, we'll have to wait until next year. But thank you so much, Jason, for joining me here today for Is It Worth It with FIFA 16 on alertonav.com. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And check out alertonav.com for all your news for comics, video games, and entertainment. And more stuff from Jason, if you like.
Yeah, yeah. We'll talk soccer. We'll talk soccer. Well, you'll see me sitting there by myself.
On the fucking kiss cam.
Yeah, I kissing my cheese fries.